A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. The superior man is modest in his speech, but exceeds in his actions. The wise adapt themselves to circumstances, as water molds itself to the pitcher. Patience is a bitter plant, but it has sweet fruit. He who conquers others is strong. He who conquers himself is mighty. A wise man adapts himself to circumstances, as water shapes itself to the vessel that contains it. The gem cannot be polished without friction, nor man perfected without trials. The greater the difficulty, the greater the glory. A man who does not think and plan long ahead will find trouble right at his door. He who knows all the answers has not been asked all the questions. The more you know, the less you need to show. Choose a job you love, and you will never have to walk a day in your life. A single conversation with a wise man is better than 10 years of study. When the winds of change blow, some people build walls, and others build windmills. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. A good teacher is like a candle. It consumes itself to light the way for others. The man who removes a mountain begins by carrying away small stones. The person who says it cannot be done should not interrupt the person doing it. The greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Give a man a fish, and you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish, and you feed him for a lifetime. The weak can never forgive. Forgiveness is the attribute of the strong. When you have only 2 pennies left in the world, buy a loaf of bread with one, and a lily with the other. The more man meditates upon good thoughts, the better will be his world, and the world at large. The person attempting to travel 2 roads at once will get nowhere. To know what is right and not do it is the worst cowardice. He who speaks without modesty will find it difficult to make his words good. The best fighter is never angry. Do not impose on others what you yourself do not desire. A wise man makes his own decisions. An ignorant man follows public opinion. He who asks a question is a fool for 5 minutes. He who does not ask a question remains a fool forever. The longest journey begins with a single step. A leader is best when people barely know he exists. When his walk is done, his aim fulfilled, they will say, "We did it ourselves." When the character of a man is not clear to you, look at his friends. The superior man thinks always of virtue. The common man thinks of comfort. To be wronged is nothing unless you continue to remember it. The wise man is never shaken by praise or blame. The superior man understands what is right. The inferior man understands what will sell. If you want happiness for an hour, take a nap. If you want happiness for a day, go fishing. If you want happiness for a year, inherit a fortune. If you want happiness for a lifetime, help someone else. The more you sweat in training, the less you bleed in battle. The hardest thing of all is to find a black cat in a dark room, especially if there is no cat. Your teacher can open the door, but you must enter by yourself. Silence is a true friend who never betrays. Better a diamond with a flaw than a pebble without one. The superior man is slow in his words and earnest in his conduct. He who knows enough is enough will always have enough. The superior person seeks what is right. The inferior one, what is profitable. Knowing others is intelligence. Knowing yourself is true wisdom. Mastering others is strength. Mastering yourself is true power. The greatest way to live with honor in this world is to be what we pretend to be. He who controls others may be powerful, but he who has mastered himself is mightier. The sage does not accumulate for himself. The more he uses for others, the more he possesses. Your own mind is a sacred enclosure into which nothing harmful can enter except by your permission. The greatest teacher is experience. The greatest enemy is yourself. The greatest achievement is self-mastery. He who does not advance goes backward. When you see a good person, think of becoming like them. When you see someone not so good, reflect on your own weak points. Before you embark on a journey of revenge, dig 2 graves. A person's words can either be a fountain of wisdom or a deadly poison. If you want to know what a man is really like, take notice of how he acts when he loses money. The fool wonders, the wise man asks. A person who lacks patience will never acquire anything worth having.